5 silver stacking myths I used to believe. Let's start.
Heavy on the rounds, which is good to see because that's typically one of the best things to be stacking, right?
We sell more rounds than anything silver for the obvious reason that
is Silver Dragons showing us that silver is not just silver. That is the first myth I used to believe. Silver is just silver, silver is silver. I heard that often and I continue to hear it often. Out of the vast market of products available to us on the silver market, smart stackers only stick to a few items. We buy generic silver rounds and a whole lot of them. We buy silver bars, the 1 ounce, the 10 ounce, 100 ounce, sometimes the 1,000 ounce bars. But in general, the smaller bars are the smart way to go for silver stackers. Now, if you had asked me 2 years ago if that was my complete list, I would have told you yes, that would have been my complete list. Generic 1 ounce rounds and silver bars, but things have changed and times have changed. Now, I'm happy to include American Silver Eagles back on that list of items that smart stackers are accumulating. The premiums for American Silver Eagles have dropped so dramatically that I have them back in my stack and I'm buying them up again. So no, silver is not silver. Anything with a premium above the generic silver round is the type of silver that we enjoy looking at, but we do not stack.
I stopped. The main reason, one of the main reasons, is because of the fact that they are no longer 1 troy ounce, and that they are 30 grams, and the premiums keep going higher.
That is Silver Wolverine talking about the premiums for Chinese pandas, and that is another myth I used to believe. Buy up as much silver as you can and don't worry about the premiums because stacking silver is a long game. Yes. Stacking silver certainly is definitely a long game. I'm talking about decades. Not just years, but decades. It is a long game. But accumulating even a small stack of semi-numismatic silver that costs heavy premiums above the spot price with the intention of getting those premiums back over time, that's a myth. I used to believe it, but not anymore. I know that I will never get those premiums back no matter how long I hold on to those silver products. At best, I'm lucky if those premiums will increase over the decades along with inflation. And along with that inflation, those semi-numismatic products may hold their value by following inflation, but that has not been my experience. It is not. American Silver Eagles that's a great example of this scenario. No, they're not semi-numismatic, they're not, but they've had enormous premiums the past few years. Enormous premiums attached to those Eagles, and the premiums have dropped so dramatically that anyone who spent the past 2 years stacking American Silver Eagles, they'll never get those premiums back.
Are you going to be making a purchase with a 100 ounce bar? This is kind of one of the criticisms of stacking silver bars that I hear. And it is to some extent valid.
That's Smart Silver Stacker talking about silver bars. The other myth I used to believe was the idea that stacking silver bars and stacking silver rounds or coins, that they're all the same. I've seen many stackers over the years get hit hard when they try to sell large silver bars, and that's busted the myth for me. It's specifically the 1,000 ounce. Yes, I know a few fellow stackers that have those 1,000 ounce silver bricks. Those guys will have great difficulty bartering with a large brick of silver like that. Sure, if they choose to cash out tomorrow, then fine. They'll find a dealer that could wholesale those bricks of silver. But those of us who are holding on to silver in the event of a complete economic collapse, those of us that stack various denominations of junk silver like you see here, we are preparing for a barter situation. And small denominations of silver, that's the way to go. Those large bricks, they'll be useless for a barter. I'm often been on the fence. I have. Over the years, I've been on the fence and struggled with my desire to buy one of those large 1,000 ounce bricks of silver. Part of me wants to go in and buy it and just stash it in my basement and wait 20 years and see the value increase. But another part of me, the rational part, I think, another part of me knows that there's a smarter way to park $25,000.
I absolutely believe that triple digit silver is baked in the cake, that there is no possibility that we can go infinitely out into the future without triple digit silver happening.
That is Mike Maloney talking about silver hitting triple digits. And I spent many years believing that silver would hit triple digits. And now, after decades in the game, now, of course, I'll be happy. I'll be happy to see silver hit triple digits. But Mike, will we see it in my lifetime, Mike? At the same time, my stack has grown to such a quantity that I really don't need to hit triple digits for me to feel like this has been a worthwhile endeavor. I include this in my list of silver stacking myths because every year we see video after video of silver stackers claiming that this will be the year when we hit triple digits. This will be the year. This is the big one. And it never comes to play. Silver price and its value have always been controlled by various entities, and I do not see that ending anytime soon. What would it take for silver to hit triple digits? Well, that's a subject for an entirely different video. Just know that I don't see it happening in 2024, and that is why I include it on my list of silver stacking myths. At this point, triple digit silver is really a sales pitch thrown at us from dealers trying to convince us to join the silver stacking community. Hey, I'm all in on silver. I'm already there. I've been stacking without triple digit silver, and I'll continue to stack on double digit silver. I don't need any more sales pitches. Same goes for dealers that tell me our financial institutions will collapse tomorrow, and the following day they say it'll collapse the next day, and on, while they conveniently offer their solution to this dilemma. It's so convenient for them. Their solution is to buy more silver. It's a sales pitch, and I don't need it. I'm already there. I'm a silver stacker. I'm already in.
We can confidently say that we are looking at a period of 2 to 14 months before silver catches up to the current trend in gold.
That is Bald Guy Money talking about the performance lag we see for silver price as it relates to gold price. This is the great frustration of silver stackers and gold stackers, and it brings up a myth around the relationship of silver price to gold price. We want gold value to increase. At the same time, we want to see silver follow along. And yes, we've seen that happen in past years, but there's another pattern to the price of silver, and Bald Guy Money does a great job of explaining this pattern. Generally, we see a long-term performance lag with silver, and it takes a few months after gold moves for silver to follow. This is the same for a decrease in gold value. Silver will follow. It can take 2 to 14 months before we see it happen. No, it's not always the case. It's not. Sometimes they move along together, but check out Bald Guy Money's video. I'll leave a link in the description below. He does a great job of outlining the history of silver as it relates to gold. And look, I told you I don't see silver hitting triple digits. Well, the other lesson I've learned for years of stacking silver is that silver and gold, the ratio, they have a serious spread, and to wait for that ratio to tighten may take longer than I actually have years on this planet. We all want that. All of us. We all want the gold to silver ratio to tighten, and this video is not titled 5 ways to tighten the silver to gold ratio. It's titled 5 silver stacking myths. And no, I'm not including a tight silver to gold ratio as a 6th myth, but I'm saying that we will be holding our breath for a long time before we see that tighten.